Hello, great minds. Welcome back to the Reactivate Great Minds community. We are glad you came. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastically well. We love the fact that you get to come in here, be a part of this. Hope we are edifying and educating you. And are you also reciprocating? Are you also sharing something with us in the comment section? In case you're not, it's time to appraise yourself. It's time to just appraise yourself. Let's know whether this relationship is mutual. Yes, as a reminder, our book Chief is on sale at the following location. If you're in Ghana, if you're in Lagos, Ogun, Imo, Enugu, Kebbi State, for now, the book is available at these various locations. Send us an email if you want the hard copy. We'll tell you how to get there. Our email is react1v8ng@gmail.com, as you'll be seeing displayed on the screen. For those who are not close or would not mind having an e-copy, yes, e-copy is also available, and we'll put the link in the description box below. So do well to check the description for the link to get the e-copy of the book Chief. It will do you good. Yes, and you can also gift someone. We started a series in the last two videos titled Restart. Restart has been a personal one for me because it has also made me to start looking into some things that I've kept, and I'm trying to pick some things up back up to start them again. How about you? Let us know how it is helping you too. We stopped the last video at the point where we are telling you about the Control-Alt-Delete on your personal computer. The Control-Alt-Delete. When you're using your system and maybe it's something, an application is hanging, something is not opening, or it's not making you to move forward, it's keeping you stagnant, or you're not getting the desired results, you can always hit your control, hold down your button on your system, your Control-Alt-Delete. The reason I'm holding my PC is so that it drives on a picture in your head. As human, we will learn through by images. So when you see this system and you remember the theme for this video, Restart, it will be easier for you to remember most of the things or the analysis or the analogy that was chosen for this. So pick your system. I advise you, I encourage you to pick your system. Now when you press the Control-Alt-Delete on your system, it brings out option. Now we are talking about restart, right? And I would like to pick these buttons one after the other. Remember, we told you in the last video that you are not in the worst state and you shouldn't give up, no matter what has happened to you, no matter what you have done, no matter how much of a thing you have abandoned. I want to also mention, it keeps dropping in my heart. Maybe you got pregnant while you were in school as a girl, as a young lady. Maybe you got pregnant, and because of that, your family said, oh, we're not going to train you in school. You have abused us. You have, taken us for granted. Or maybe they're even there to support you, but you have told yourself, I cannot continue because I got pregnant, I got a child, now my whole life has changed. It's time for you to restart. Yes, it keeps dropping in my spirit to point this out. So it could just be for just you alone. Yes, you got pregnant, but your life should not be on hold. Restart. Restart. You have so many beautiful things ahead of you. It should not continue. You have learned your lesson. Of course you will do better, but no, you have not. The worst has not happened to you. Restart. So how do you restart, even as a person, as an individual, as a worker, as someone that is part of a group, as whoever that you are, whatever you're doing? How do you restart your system? How do you restart that application? How do you try to get, ways further when something is hanging? We say you're pressing the Control+Alt+Delete plus delete button on your system. Now when you're holding the control, before I continue, there's something I love. I love that picture. You know, after a while I wasn't seeing it anymore. There's this cartoon character, somebody created it. The cartoon picked up, you removed the control button on the system, picked it up and carried it and say, they now wrote that thing, I'm taking control. So it's time for you to take control of your life system. It's time to take control of your life. Pick up that control button. Now, in pressing control, you know, there's something that God gave us, is the power of choice. We all have choice. So to a very large extent, you can control what eventually happens to you. You can control it. Stop allowing other people to control what is happening to you. Yes. So somebody says, oh, you're bad. Oh yes, you spoil our image. Yes, you do this. Yes, those things were something you did. They are not who you are. What you do is different from who you are. Now, yes, like somebody that is good can do something bad. Do I make mistakes as I am? Yes, I do make mistake. Am I a mistake? No, I'm not a mistake. So we have to understand that fact. We have to be able to differentiate what we do from who we are, as long as we don't consistently do those things that are wrong. We did something wrong in the past. Yes, we acknowledge the fact that those things are wrong, but we have decided to get along in life. So yes, you got pregnant in school. It is not who you are. You're not a bad person. Yes, you were in court. You denounced it. You're not the worst. Yes, you cheated in school. You denounced it. You're not the worst. Yes, you stole that money that was not for you. You returned it. You acknowledge it that it was wrong. You are not a thief. It's time for you to know that you have control to redefine who you are and pick yourself up and see how you will get ahead in life. You're not the worst. You have to take control. Yes, a lot of people have said that, oh, you're dull. Are you a dull person? No, you are not dull. You have to take control. You have to know that you have a part to play. The Bible tells us something. It said, God himself that created us, we humans, God created us. God that created us gave us an option. He gave us a choice to choose. He said, I have set before you life and death. And then he went further to advise. I advise you that you choose life that you may live. So yes, there is good and there is bad. But in taking control is picking up the action to make a better choice, to do better. In the last video, I told you of how, you know, as a child, I was, playful. I was, fighting in school. I was just so distracted, unorganized, and because I have a father, or I had a father who took me for who I was, I didn't really know that I could be better until I stopped seeing him. Go and watch that video. I will not repeat that story here. Go and watch that video. But I came first in the class and I started topping my class. Why? Because of an action that I took, because of something that I told myself. So you have the choice to make. If, for example, I'll give you an example. When I was in school, that's falling down. When I was in school, I have a diploma in banking and finance. Yes, I did that course in Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. Yes, when I was in school, a whole bunch of people, crowd, would wake up in the night and go to class to go and read. They call it TDB. Those of you that are students or you have gone through that or you did it, you understand. TDB in school then, till daybreak, they will read. And so because everybody was doing this, I joined them also to go and do it. But I saw that it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working at all. And so what did I do? I stopped going for TDB, And then I realized that some people, when they come from the first, class, during the break, they would be going to library. And I saw a lot of people going to library. And I decided to also join the queue and go to library. And so I would go to library, but I realized that I would be reading one line over and again, until I came to the realization that, a quiet environment is not the best place for me to assimilate joining Ndidi. So I don't assimilate fast in a quiet environment. The library is a quiet place. Remember, we are talking about pressing the control button. And so I had to take control of my mind to understand myself, to say, oh, this is what everybody does. A whole lot of people do TDB. A whole lot of people go to a quiet environment to read, to go to the library. And of course, they look serious. And when you don't go to the library, of course, you don't look serious. But then, it doesn't work for me. It didn't work for me. But I realized that when I'm in the hostel and people are back from classes and they are making jest and they are laughing, they are talking, they are playing, and I'm reading something, it goes in faster. I assimilate faster. Weird, right? Yes, I know. But I assimilate faster, and I knew that, for me to stop deceiving myself, I have to do what works for me. So I would ensure that people are in the hostel. When I'm back from class, I will pick my book and I will start reading. Because why? That is my best environment to assimilate. That is part of taking control. I wasn't allowing the school environment, this serious tension of this is how it should be done. Or you must, to be a good and serious student, you must do TDB, or to be the fantastic student, you must read in the library. No, I had to take control of that part of my life to know that it is not working for me. It wasn't working for me as a student. And when there is nobody around and I must read, I will plug in music. I would be listening to music, or go somewhere that have a little bit of sound, because that was what was working for me. So in holding down the control system of your life, we are talking about restarting, right? For us to restart, that means there is something that is on ground that wasn't working. There is something that was left. There was something that was abandoned. There is something that is at a standstill. Now, in taking control, you must realize that you have to stop doing the same thing the same way. If I have to work on this system and it is not taking me further, and this system is not, allowing me to use that application, I will not just keep, trying to see how I will keep typing. No, I will hit that control button first. So what is that thing that you are doing that is giving you the same result? It's time to try something else. And that something else might not be working for other people, but it can be what is working for you. I just told you now that reading in a quiet environment, draws me backward. I'll be reading one line over and over again before I will be able to grasp it. But when I'm in a noisy environment where people are talking, music is playing, it is easier for me to grasp what I'm reading. Yes, so what is it? Check what works for you. Check. You have to take charge. You have to make a choice, a decision to do something differently. Do something differently. Do something differently. You don't have to keep complaining and be repeating the same thing. Take control. In taking control, you have to do something differently. Check your life. What works for you? That it works for others doesn't mean it will work for you. So check your life. If for some people, reading in a noisy place, for most people actually, reading in a noisy place is a distraction. In fact, they will not pick one thing. And so that quiet place is the best place. Now, in addition to holding control on your system, you will add to it alter. Now, in our last video that we did, in the last series, we talked about alter the queue. So to know practical ways of doing things differently, because to alter is to obstruct something that is already in the process. Is to, go in and cut off the line or something. So go and watch that series, alter the queue, so that you would understand more. So you're taking control, you're making a choice to do something differently, to appraise your life and see what works and what doesn't work, to know that yes, this is what the world defines this to be, but it doesn't function for me like that. This is how it functions for me. So I'm taking control. In addition to taking control, I'm altering the process that I've been taking before. There's this popular saying that nobody does the same thing and expects a different result. It is true. So in holding down the control plus the alter button, so yes, I'm doing something different. I am obstructing what I'm doing before. So what is my thinking pattern that's not been working for me, that's make me not to do that thing that I'm supposed to do? What is that thinking pattern that I've been thinking? What have I been doing that is making me not to complete that book I have been writing? What is that thing that I'm doing that is making me not to complete that science project? What is that thing that I've been doing that is making me not to be an outstanding person? What is that thing? What is my mindset regarding that thing? hold your control. In addition to controlling, your alter what has been you have always been doing. Do something different, do something unique. Ask somebody that is doing what you're doing, meet somebody that is doing something similar to what you're doing. Alter that process that you have been using to try to achieve that. Alter the process, alter the mindset. And the next button is delete. So we are holding down Control Alter plus delete. Delete everything that has not been working for you. And so there are some people that will tell you, oh, you cannot amount to anything in life, probably because they were in the best position, or best place to say that as at that time. But that they say, it doesn't mean that it will work for you. It's time to delete that talk, delete that mindset. God has told you that you are the head and not the tail, and the word of God supersedes anything that anybody can say. You are indeed the head. If God says you are the head, then you are the head. Nobody can alter your life except you permit them. So delete every word that has been spoken to you that has made you not to be able to carry on in life. Delete it. What has been said to you, delete it. In that group, they've said, oh, you are dull. Delete it. Your family have said, among your siblings, you're the one that is not doing well. It's time to delete that thing and not allow it to be your story and not allow it to be your reality. Delete it. Yes, you're taking control. Yes, you're placing the altar. You're altering things that you have been doing that's not been working for you. In addition to that, you're deleting every wrong mindset. You're deleting every word that has been spoken to you that is not working for you. You are deleting it. You're deleting that lies of the devil. You're deleting that thing that keeps coming to your head to tell you, yes, you're limited. Yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you're a failure. You were once a cultist. Oh, you got pregnant. So you can't amount to anything in life. You're not a good person. Oh, you failed your class. You're the least. You need to delete all those things. The Bible tells us something. It said, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. You have to take hold of that thought and say, I am bringing you into captivity. So bring into captivity is to hold you. That means you are in control. The control button holds that down. When you're ready to delete, the control button is held down. So you are bringing into captivity every thought that objects you moving forward, that objects you carrying out that thing you're about to carry out, that objects to you achieving that thing that you need to achieve. Control, you're holding down control. You're holding down alter, you're changing the things you used to doing, and you're holding down the delete. Everything that is not in alignment with my moving forward, that is not in alignment with me being who God has called me to be, that is not in alignment with me completing that project, is being deleted. It's time for you to restart. Yes, it's time for you to restart. In our next video, I would be, continuing this. I gave you an option of when you hold on your system, when you hold the Control Alter Delete, it brings out an option. It brings out on it. It says to lock, to switch user, to sign out, to change password, task manager, and you have the option of cancel. I'll be looking at this option in the next video. Hope this video has been helping you so far in your restart system, and do well to check this out, do well to practicalize this, determined to do something different after watching this episode. It's time for you to be better, and I would hear your testimony because you will be better. Until we meet again in the comment section, remember to contribute. I want to get your feedback on this, your contribution to this, your take on this. How do you see this? What are you doing differently? What can help others that you have tried? Feel free. This community is a two-way conversation. It's not a one-way thing. And then remember to follow this series until the end, until we meet again. Hold down your Control, Alter, Delete. Ciao.